welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new. I'm here today with another Mental Health Mondays. If you don't know, then get to know. On my channel, every Monday we have a mental health related video. Why am I doing that? Today's video is actually going to be a bit different. I asked on my Instagram, so if you don't follow me on Instagram, you should go do that. It's where all the good shit happens. Yeah. I asked for topics that you wanted me to cover. Now, I got a lot of response with this, but they were topics that I felt I couldn't do a full video on it. So today we're starting mini mental health, which is where I just cover mini topics in the mental health field and explain my opinions on it, and also talk about your opinions, because I asked on my Instagram for your opinions on these topics, because I think I mean, in all honesty, like, who's gonna want to listen to my opinion all the time? I think only me. I think I'm the only person, genuinely, who would want to hear my opinion on things all the time. And the topics we are going to be covering today are eating disorder before and after photos, self-harm in school, and suicide prevention month. So yeah, I'm going to put a timestamp in the description, so if you want to just listen to one specific topic as opposed to all three, you can do that. I'll leave the timestamps down below so you can click on and go to there. ED before and after pictures. Now, a lot of people were very vocal about this, and I love it. I'm all over that. Be vocal on my Instagram, because it affects a lot of people. Like, people are affected by how you portray yourself on social media. People are affected by the way that you portray yourself on social media and what you put on there. So things like eating disorder before and after photos are a topic that a lot of people will have opinions on, especially my followers, because my followers are mental. We're all mental here. Yeah, no, it's great. My followers suffer more likely than, say, your regular YouTubers followers. So we embrace that, we love that, we're aware of it, and we talk about it. So yeah, right. I'm gonna read out a few of your points. So a lot of people, as I expected, are saying that eating disorder photos before and after are triggering. Now, I can say that I haven't been triggered necessarily. No, I haven't been fully, like, full-blown triggered by an eating disorder post. However, I have been, it has made me have more thoughts, if that makes sense, of doing this or doing this. I can understand why a lot of people would find some eating disorder photos are, because I do think that there is something, not in everyone, but there is something about people posting photos where they are heavily unwell. That's so ironic, because they're not all heavy. It's really difficult because on one hand I'm like, that can be so encouraging and important. Oh, I also said that Albie would make a cameo in the video, so here he is in all of his glory. In all your glory, Albie, in all your glory. So on one hand, I feel like it can be encouraging, and if the person is lovely, you just burped. If the person is in the right headspace when they post the last the after photo, they can say like, look, I've made an achievement. So yes, it is achieving, it is showing an achievement. However, the triggering photos that people are talking about are when they are severely underweight and they post a photo of them severely underweight, and that is triggering for some people. I would say in the past I have definitely fell victim to fueling, I feel like it is this to a point, fueling your eating disorder by trying to be the best, the skinniest, the most ill, that whole competition thing that I made a video on, so if you want to go and check that out you can. So yes, I feel like it can be fueled by your eating disorder, it can be triggering, and I've definitely made mistakes in the past, and something that I've learned from and will never do again. I will not be posting photos from when I was underweight or anything like that, because in real terms, like, is it helpful? You've got to ask yourself this, is it helpful? Now when I do my video on trigger warnings, which if you want a video on trigger warnings, give this video a like, then I will talk more in depth about that. Some of the things that people have said is that they're triggering, oh sorry, just kicked you in the face. I don't know why I made that a little like you like being kicked in the face. Who likes being kicked in the face? Not me. Who likes being kicked in the face? Let's think. I bet it's someone's weird fetish, you know. No judgment, but I bet it is. Emma says that it reinforces the idea that you have to be super skinny or underweight to have an eating disorder, as oftentimes body checked images are being used, which I think we covered before, which is I believe is so true, and that is not helpful because it is just fueling your eating disorder and also triggering other people's. So all in all, who's it helping? On the other hand though, someone said it can give me hope and also realise that the reality of being thin isn't as pretty as I imagined, which I think is a really good point. I never really thought about that aspect of before and after photos, which is where I think, because I don't think all before and after photos are bad, I just think potentially, I just think the triggering ones are unhelpful and eating disorder fueled. I just want to make that crystal clear. I've seen so many inspirational before and after photos where they show, you know, just their emotion from when they were at the depth, in the depth of their eating disorder, compared to when they're not in the depth of their eating disorder, when they're happy, when they've reached a stage where they are happy. And I think the two of them collided just shows you that there is hope that you can get better, but secondly that it also shows that you are so unhappy when you're in the depth of your eating disorder that often I've never seen someone, like honestly I can say that I've never seen someone post a picture of their before photo where they looked happier than their after. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. Because you're not happy when you're in the depth of an eating disorder. You're actually miserable. Like, I think showing the emotion is more important than showing the actual body type. How do you feel on this? By the way, let me know down below how you feel on every topic that we cover. I think the more we talk about it, the better we can learn from it. Like, I can learn from it, you can learn from it. We can better ourselves, and also we can just make taboo subjects normal, because they are normal and they are sad and they need to be spoken about in order for things to change. So things won't change if things don't change. Yeah. Second topic that we're going to discuss is self-harm in school, which I don't think I've ever really spoken about on my channel, which is weird because I dealt with my own experiences of having self-harm during being in school, but I've never actually covered that topic because I didn't really know how to approach it. It's a very different, like, what do you want me to say really? What, like, don't do it, but also tell someone if you do it, but also it's it's okay to struggle, but it's not okay to struggle inside. Like, I just found it a very, there are very blurred lines between what is right to say and what is wrong to say, and I'm very cautious about what I say in videos now, especially now than I have been in the past. So I just don't want to get things wrong. So if I get things wrong, please feel free to correct me in the comments. I take constructive, I would say, I do take constructive criticism quite well. Obviously if it's constructive, if it's just hate, then I don't really give a shit. But if it's constructive criticisms, I take it on board. So Caitlin says that nobody took self-harm seriously in school. My teachers thought it was for attention. And I think that is a common misconception that not only people in school have to deal with, but outside of school. And this is the reason why we need to educate ourselves and the people around us about mental illness, and realise that, like, the self-harm is just literally just the surface level of what is the problem. That there has to be a problem in order for you to self-harm, and for teachers to just see it at that surface base of you've done this, therefore you're doing this for attention, is just so barbaric to me. I honestly, I can't fathom that ignorant mindset. As a teacher especially, I feel like the education needs to be put in place, because another thing that I found, so personally in school, I never told anyone that I self-harmed. However, I will admit, I did want, I don't think I've ever said this, to be honest, but when I was in school, I did want certain people to notice. So for example, like I vividly remember one day in my English AS level exam, I had cuts on my arm, and the teacher was walking past, and I was like, thinking about this is so like I wish I'd just screamed for help, because I purposely put my sleeve down so that they were visible, so that my teacher would see. However, whenever my teacher asked me, I would always deny it, and because I was nearly 18, there was I think this is where the problem comes in, is that teachers don't know what to do about it. There needs to be a very clear-cut no, I'm sorry. There needs to be a very strategic, like, way to proceed with finding out that a child self-harms, because you are a child in school. Like, unless you're in year 13, you are technically a child, therefore you need to be looked after. Obviously, I know a lot of people don't want to tell the school because they're scared about their parents finding out, and that just, it all depends on how the school chooses to deal with it. Another person said that self-harm in school was a bit of a competition, which I find crazy. In my school, I think it's, I say it's crazy, however, in my school, in my year, I knew of 5 of the girls who I knew, wasn't necessarily like friends with, but had seen or knew, or they had self-harmed at some point, and that's only people that I knew of, so there's probably more. And if you think about that, that's a lot of, that's including me, that would be 6. That even if that's quite a lot of people in 1 year, and that's the only ones I know of. Self-harming becoming a competition is scary as fuck. Like, to think that that would be something that people would take into a competitive nature, very, like, in real life. Like, I know self-harm can be seen as a competition, where people think that they don't self-harm a particular way and therefore don't feel valid, but I can't imagine it becoming a competition, like the way I'm thinking about it is a competition within like friend groups, where like I've heard before, I remember my mum telling me that someone she knew, her little sister, this was 6 years ago, 7 years ago, that she had been self-harming because her friends had self-harmed, and at that time I was self-harming and I was like, because my mum was like, it's so fucking stupid, and like it is awful to self-harm if your friend is because your friend is self-harming. That is just a whole different kettle of fish, so I don't know with that, but to think that self-harm is a competition is really, really sad, and I think that's not so much the job of children to take control of, but the job of parents to notice, and teachers to crack down on, and pastoral care to take care of, and for these children to know that they can talk to someone if things like this are happening in their school. The final thing I'm going to say about self-harm in school is that a lot of people have said that people just call them an emo or make self-harm jokes. I think the language around self-harm, or the stereotype so much around self-harm, is about, like, emo is tossed around when it's, you don't have to be an emo to self-harm, and what even defines an emo, like, I don't know, like, I know that when I was in school, again, people would be like, oh yeah, the emo cuts herself, like, yeah, that emo cuts herself. Or I remember, like, with the joke thing, vividly remember a boy in my year, and I was in sociology, and I was, at this point I was 17, so I was 17, so we were like old enough to start to know better. Like, we were still young, but you're old enough to not be as ignorant. And this boy, someone put on Lana Del Rey, and this boy made a joke about like people self-harming because of Lana Del Rey. And I just remember thinking, oh my god, I want to punch you in the face because you are so fucking stupid. I didn't, but we move. And to be honest, in all honesty, that boy since has come up to me and spoke to me about my talking about mental health online, don't know what you call it, and said that it was good. So obviously people can change. That's one thing I want you to remember, that is when you're in school, you're in a bubble and you're so young, and it's just, the social side of school is so important. So if you're suffering, you really need to speak out to someone who can make a difference in your life. And I promise you, like, I actually will promise you, things will get better after that. They'll get a bit shit, but they'll get better. So like, as opposed to your life going like this, it will go like that. Like, it will go up eventually. Like, it will be on the right path. And the final thing we're going to talk about is Suicide Awareness Month, which, if you didn't know, September is Suicide Awareness Month. So I know you've probably seen loads of posts on Instagram about it. I personally think that dedicating, like, obviously I talk about things like that all year round. I don't know if I can actually say that word because I don't know if I'll get like demonetized for it, but I'm just gonna go. I talk about a lot throughout the year, but I think it's really important for there to be awareness raised, and a lot of you guys also said that you thought it was really good because it raises awareness, it gets people talking, which is what you need. Discussion is what we need to make things better. The only thing I haven't seen anyone write this yet, the only thing I would personally say is I think you can raise awareness without being graphic, and I think once you become graphic, that's when it becomes about validation for yourself. It can be very triggering for people. if you are in that mindset and someone posts a very graphic either photo like or explicit not story, but you know what I mean, I literally cannot think of the word, experience, then it can be very triggering for people. So that's the only thing I would say, is that just be careful on social media that if someone's putting trigger warnings, like it's not a case of, it's not for you to graphically talk about your experience with it. Talk about your experience by all means, but there's no need for numbers or hospital admission numbers, amount of X taken, amount of times hospital, like, do you know what I mean? Like, you don't need to cover all bases. And honestly, like, you're courageous for even talking about your experience, so like, don't then potentially trigger someone else by being too graphic. That's all I would say, and that's me being very pernickety. So yeah, that's today's video. I hope you enjoyed. I loved this. I really liked this, giving me like a topic and then we just dissect it a bit. And please comment something down below. Just go and comment something down below. If you got this far in the video, comment the word something. I will heart it and we'll be part of the Bad Bish Club. Yeah. So if you comment the word something, like, we are a part of the Bad Bitch Club, so why would you not? No, I'm joking, but I'm not joking really. You should go comment it, just so you know, so you can get some people go, what's this something about? Wow, they didn't watch the whole video. But yeah, I freaking love you guys. I'm on a roll and we're on a journey now, guys. We're on this journey together. So hold on, strap yourselves in, because it's only going to get crazier from here. I'm going to love you and leave you. Please stay safe. Stay safe. Come on. You. Yes, you. Stay safe. Cutie. Oh, thanks for stealing my line, bitch. I love you guys. Stay safe and I'll see you soon.